Hi, you're on to Viva's Canadian Journey. Thank you so much for watching. Today we are going to talk about all the changes that are happening in regards to Immigration Canada in 2025. Changes that you need to know, changes as it affects you if you want to come here as an international student and as a skilled worker as well. These changes are really important. They can make or break any application. So we're going to talk about it today. Let's get started. So it's 2025. Welcome to my channel if this is your first time. If you're yet to subscribe, please don't forget to subscribe. It's very easy to do so. Just hit the subscribe button and don't forget to press the bell icon. And if you like what you see, what you hear, subscribe, share, tell people about Viva's Canadian Journey. So it's 2025. Loads of changes are happening in regards to immigrating to Canada, okay? And you need to be well informed. Knowledge is power. One of the reasons I'm doing this video is because a couple of weeks ago, someone reached out to me. She was very excited. She had applied she wanted to come and study here in Canada. She had applied to one of the colleges here. She had gotten admission. She had paid her tuition in full. So she had just called me to ask me if I could give her any tips, any advice for the particular province she was going to be moving to. The college was in a particular province. And so we just got talking and I asked her, what program are you doing? What course? And she told me and I said, this is your background. You have a very good background. Why are you doing this program? Why are you doing this course? I said, listen, a lot of things have changed in terms of coming to study in Canada. This is a good course, but if you study, the chances of you getting a postgraduate work permit when you come to Canada, when you're done studying and you want a work permit so you can get some work experience, the chances of you getting that with this program is almost impossible. And she didn't know that. Okay, but it was a good thing because she went back to the school and now they're going back and forth having discussions on how she can change her program. So she was really excited and she's like, listen, you need to tell people about these changes. I said, I've done a few videos about it, but let me do one dedicated to the changes that are happening in 2025. The truth is, one of the reasons that Immigration Canada is really popular and a lot of people like it is because there's quite a number of streams and the criteria are pretty easy and straightforward. The policies are there, However, there has been a lot of change. Immigration Canada is going through a lot of changes. Last year, a lot of changes came in. Towards the end of last year, the Immigration Minister, Mark Miller, it was like almost every 2 weeks there's a change as it affects international students, as it affects people who want to come to work in Canada. Loads of changes. And even for me, it's difficult to keep up. You have to keep going and checking, has anything changed? So let's talk about those changes. I believe they're really important. These changes, good for you to know because when you're making a decision to come and study something or to come here to work, if you're not aware of these changes, it can really affect your application. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the changes as it affects international students. And if you will come in here as a skilled worker or a skilled tradesperson, we'll also talk about the changes as well. Some of the key changes you need to know. So let's talk about the changes for international students first of all. One of the main changes you should be aware of if you want to come and study in Canada is that Canada has dropped the quota for international students for 2025. So what this means is that this is not to scare you, but this is just to let you know that the competition is going to be tougher. It means you have less spaces available for international students. Okay, there's still spaces available, but much less than we had in 2024, 2023, 2022. Okay, so have that at the back of your mind. Another major change, this came in last year, is that the proof of funds you need to have in your account for a year changed from 10,000 Canadian dollars to 20,600 plus Canadian dollars. This is the amount you need to have in your account when you're coming. This does not include money for tickets, okay, and money for study. This is money for taking care of yourself when you come here to Canada. That amount is almost double. I was talking to someone last year when this came into effect, and she was about to go for her visa interview, and I just quickly sent her a message. I'm like, listen, you need to update your bank account. This is going to be a key factor, because that amount has doubled from 10,000 to 20,000 plus. So please, if you haven't been reading up about Canadian immigration, you want to come and study in Canada, this is a key factor. Immigration, the immigration officers, they will find out. They will ask you to send your bank statements, okay? Another very, very important policy that has changed is that right now, if you're coming to study in Canada, not every course, not every program is going to guarantee you a postgraduate work permit. The postgraduate work permit is what you get when you finish studying in Canada, is a work permit. Okay, so sometimes you can get a 1-year work permit depending on your program, 2-year work permit. A couple of years ago, it used to be automatic. You finish and you get the postgraduate work permit. For a lot of international students, that was the whole point of coming here. So you can come and get the Canadian experience, you can work, and then hopefully transition to your permanent residency. However, that has changed. There's some programs right now that you study, some courses are not going to give you this. If you can come and study it, you can come here, spend money, but you will not get the postgraduate work permit. When you're done, you'll be on your way back to your home country. I did a video about this a couple of months ago. I'm going to put that video in the description. I'm going to put the link to that video in the description of this video so you can go back. So this is very, very important. It's no longer business as usual. You cannot just pick up, go online and say, okay, I want to study this course because it's fancy. I want to study this program. You have to put in a lot of thought has to go into it so that you just don't come here and then you're back, except that's the plan. Okay, so that's really, really important. Right now, again, after you've gotten admission, you've applied to a university, you've gotten admission, you've gotten your student permit or your student visa, your study permit or your student visa, there's another step you need to get, and that is the PAL. You need to get a provincial attestation letter. What this means is that the province, so for instance, if you get an admission into a university here in Nova Scotia, what this means is the school will get in touch with the province to say, yes, Habiba is coming, she has met all the criteria, and then the province will send you a letter. This is an extra step Canada is taking to make sure that international students are coming in legitimately. So it's called the Provincial Attestation Letter. I also talked about this in a previous video. Link will be in the description of this video. So please note all these changes, extremely important. Another really important change you need to note is that if you're coming to study and you're coming with your spouse and you want your spouse to get an open work permit, the rules and regulations for that have changed. Again, I spoke about that in a previous video. Before, it was almost automatic. You're coming to study, you have your study permit, you can show funds and finances. Your spouse can apply for an open work permit. Your dependent children under the age of 18 can also apply. That has changed. So please put that at the back of your mind. Very, very important. Now let's talk about the changes for skilled workers. So you're a skilled worker or a skilled tradesperson in your home country and you want to come and work in Canada. A few changes. One of them to note is that Canada has also reduced the quota for skilled workers and skilled tradespeople that are going to be coming in 2025, 2026, 2027. So again, competition is going to be really, really tough. Another change, and this is a huge change for a lot of people. Prior to a couple of months ago, if you get a job in Canada, you're in your home country, you get a job, and you're in the Federal Express stream, you can get between 50 and 200 points. So you get between 50 and 200 points. Okay, that's called LMIA. So you get a job and you get your LMIA, 200 points. This was a game changer. 200 points right now is a game changer. If you get an additional 200 points or whatever points you have, I know a lot of people that is just going to be a game changer for them. However, now you get a job from your home country, you will not get points. You will not get LMIA points. That has been stopped. So please, this is really important. Okay, very, very important. Another major change, and I've been talking about this for a very long time, is that as Canada is reducing its quota for skilled workers and skilled tradespeople, okay, it's increasing, Immigration Canada is increasing its quota for people who are bilingual, for people who have French language as their first or second language, can speak it fluently. So Canada has increased that quota. It means right now, if you want to come to Canada as a skilled worker, you create an express entry profile, and you have French language, English language, you're going to get solid points. Provinces are going to be looking for you, depending on your work experience, of course. So this is extremely important. Please have that at the back of your mind. Right now, Canada is looking at streams. Canada is looking at skill sets that are going to benefit the province. So if you know anybody, I've said it again, I'm going to keep saying it, in the health industry, in the education industry, anybody in skilled trades, transportation, plumbing, carpentry, please encourage them to look at streams available here in Canada. I've talked about a lot of them. You can go back to my previous videos. Okay, but these changes are really, really important. Changes that I was talking to somebody the other day, and because of this LMIA changes, they're like, you know what, Habiba, we're not coming to Canada again. We're going to look at somewhere else. I'm like, that's fair enough. It's not to discourage you, but it's just so you know what you're up against. Knowledge is power. I hope you really found this very helpful. It's no longer business as usual coming to Canada. You need to do a lot of research. You're going to be spending a lot of money. Okay, so do your research. Have as much information as you have as possible before you make any decision. If you want to, you can look back at my previous videos. I've talked a lot about some of these changes as it affects international students and skilled workers. If you have any questions, you can put your questions in the comment section and I'll respond when I can. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next year, until next time, take care.